Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the beautiful people out there, a man who believes that ego is everything is someone who is constantly trapped in his own reflection. You've probably met him before, or maybe you've seen him in films. The guy who feels like the world revolves around him. He's the one who always has to be right, who can never admit a mistake, and who seems to think that the louder he speaks, the more important he becomes. It's almost as if the whole universe needs to acknowledge his existence. And if it doesn't, now let me tell you something. Ego isn't power. It's a trap. Ego tells you that you're the center of everything, and in doing so, it blinds you to the most important truths. It makes you lose sight of the people around you, the lessons you need to learn, and the beauty of humility. Imagine you're in a room full of people, all of them eager to share their ideas, their thoughts, their experiences. Yet there's that one person, the one who thinks his opinion is the only one that matters, the one who talks over others, the one who believes that his voice is louder than anyone else's. This is a man who is held captive by his own ego. You see, ego doesn't just hurt others. It hurts the person who carries it. Ego builds walls between you and the world, making it difficult to form meaningful relationships or to grow. When you're so wrapped up in proving that you still get that there's always room for improvement. Life is all about learning, evolving, and being open to new ideas and perspectives. But an ego-driven person can't see that. For them, every disagreement is a challenge to their superiority, and every differing opinion is an insult to their intelligence. Now let's get something straight. There's a difference between confidence and ego. Confidence is knowing your worth and standing by it without needing to belittle others. It's about recognizing that you have something valuable to contribute, but also acknowledging that you don't have all the answers. Confidence is rooted in self-assurance, whereas ego is rooted in insecurity. A confident person doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. A person driven by ego, on the other hand, needs constant validation, as if they are incomplete without it. The problem with ego is that it's not only destructive in social situations, but in personal growth as well. Ego keeps you from taking responsibility for your actions. When you make a mistake, ego tells you it's not your fault. Someone else is to blame. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of denial, never allowing you to grow, adapt, or learn from your experiences. Instead of admitting that you were wrong, you fight tooth and nail to maintain your perfect image. But the truth is, no one is perfect. We all have flaws, we all make mistakes, and that's what makes us human. A man with a healthy sense of self doesn't hide from his mistakes. He learns from them. But the man with a bloated ego would rather let the world burn than admit he was ever wrong. So why is it that some men hold on to their egos so tightly? The answer is simple. They are afraid. Afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of being judged, and most importantly, afraid of not being enough. But here's the thing. The more you protect your ego, the more you shield yourself from the real connections and growth that life offers. When you let go of your ego, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You start to see life for what it is. Beautiful, full of lessons and full of opportunities to be better. Not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Ego may be a convenient shield, but it's also a prison. And until a man is willing to let go of it, he will never truly be free. A man who believes that money will solve everything is often blind to the deeper truths of life. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that wealth can fix all your problems. After all, society often tells us that success is measured by the size of your bank account, the luxury of your lifestyle, and the number of possessions you have. But let's face the facts. Money, as powerful as it may be, can never truly solve everything. A man who believes that money can solve his problems is like someone trying to fill a cup that has no bottom. No matter how much you pour into it, it will never be full. Sure, money can buy you comfort, security, and even freedom in some respects. But it cannot buy happiness, love, or peace of mind. It cannot buy the respect of others or the joy of a meaningful connection. It cannot buy genuine friendships or heal emotional wounds. Money can make life easier in many ways, but it can't fix the internal struggles that we all face. Imagine this. A man who is constantly obsessed with accumulating wealth might be able to buy all the latest gadgets, drive the finest cars, and live in a mansion. But what does that do for his soul? What does that do for his sense of fulfillment? Money might buy temporary satisfaction, but it can never bring long-lasting contentment. The more he accumulates, the emptier he feels. His identity becomes tied to his possessions, and the more he has, the more he wants. The paradox is clear. Money makes him feel powerful, but deep down he knows that it can never fill the void inside him. Moreover, a man who believes that money is the answer to every challenge will miss the important lessons that life has to offer. When problems arise, he doesn't look for solutions within himself or in the people around him. Instead, he believes that a check, a bank transfer, or a bigger paycheck will make everything right. But the truth is, some problems cannot be solved by throwing money at them. If a relationship is falling apart, no amount of money will heal the emotional rift. If a person is suffering from loneliness, no amount of wealth will provide them with meaningful companionship. Money can't buy love, trust, or understanding. What's even more dangerous is that a man who relies on money to solve all his problems may become disconnected from the things that really matter. The relationships, the experiences, the moments that make life meaningful, they can't be bought. Money cannot buy you time. It cannot give you back moments lost with loved ones. And it cannot replace the simple joys of life. A man obsessed with wealth often becomes so focused on his financial goals that he forgets to appreciate the little things. The laughter of children, the kindness of a friend, the warmth of a hug. These are the things that make life rich, not the price tag on your possessions. The irony, however, is that when a man places all his value in money, he becomes a slave to it. He spends his life chasing after something that in the end cannot satisfy his soul. He loses sight of what truly makes him happy, and even when he has everything he thought he wanted, he remains unfulfilled. Money, after all, is just a tool. It can create opportunities, it can improve living standards, but it can never replace the most essential human experiences: love, empathy, kindness, and understanding. A man who believes that money will solve everything may never learn this truth. He may spend his entire life thinking that the next big deal, the next promotion, or the next investment will bring him the happiness he seeks. But as life goes on, he'll find that the more he accumulates, the more he's left wanting. In the end, the only thing money really solves is the illusion of control. True fulfillment comes not from the things we possess, but from the people we love, the moments we cherish, and the growth we experience as individuals. Money can never buy that.